Sunak says Lineker BBC row matter them as he defends asylum policy. Rishi Sunak said the row surrounding Gary Lineker and the BBC is a matter for them, not the government, as he acknowledged not everyone will always agree with his new asylum policy. The controversy, which has involved the broadcaster taking the sports pundit off air, began when Lineker branded the government's plans to tackle small boat crossings in the Channel as immeasurably cruel and compared the language used to launch the policy with 1930s Germany. Commenting for the first time since the BBC stood Lineker down from Match of the Day hosting duties, the Prime Minister said he hopes the dispute can be resolved in a timely manner. He continued to defend his proposals to permanently ban asylum seekers who arrive in the UK on unauthorised small boats. In a statement, Mr. Sunak said, "As Prime Minister, I have to do what I believe is right. Respecting that not everyone will always agree, that is why I have been unequivocal in my approach to stopping the boats." Gary Lineker was a great footballer and is a talented presenter. I hope that the current situation between Gary Lineker and the BBC can be resolved in a timely manner. But it is rightly a matter for them, not the government. While that process is ongoing, it is important that we maintain perspective, particularly given the seriousness of the issue at hand. 45,000 people crossed the Channel illegally last year, many of whom have been exploited or trafficked by criminal gangs, putting their lives in danger. We need to break this cycle of misery once and for all, and the policy we set out this week I believe aims to do just that. It is not only the fair and moral thing to do, it is also the compassionate thing to do. There are no easy answers to solving this problem, but I believe leadership is about taking the tough decisions to fix problems. I know not everyone will always agree, but I do believe this is fair and right. Some of Mr. Sunak's Conservative Party colleagues have been outspoken in their criticism of Lineker, with Home Secretary Sula Braverman previously accusing him of diminishing the unspeakable tragedy of the Holocaust. Former Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries said the ex-England striker does need to decide, is he a footy presenter or a candidate for the Labour Party? But the BBC has faced a backlash from other politicians for telling Lineker to step back from hosting the Saturday edition of the Football Highlights programme in the row over impartiality. Sir Keir Starmer said the broadcaster was caving into Tory MPs and was the opposite of impartial. The Labour leader told broadcasters at Welsh Labour's conference on Saturday, "The BBC is not acting impartially by caving into Tory MPs who are complaining about Gary Lineker. They got this one badly wrong and now they're very, very exposed." As is the government, because at the heart of this is the government's failure on the asylum system. And rather than take responsibility for the mess they've made, the government is casting around to blame anybody else: Gary Lineker, the BBC, civil servants, the blob. What they should be doing is standing up, accepting they've broken the asylum system, and telling us what they're going to do to actually fix it, not whinging on about Gary Lineker. Labour MP Jess Phillips told Times Radio, if Gary Lineker had tweeted "Stop the boats," he would still be on air tonight.